way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up, oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's race day. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, the pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
Winter is here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back live here on PTM Racing TV as we are now here showcasing you today here in Daytona International Speedway, the winter series of the Next Gen Cup Series live here on PTM Racing TV. Hello everyone, I am Christian, the Crusader driver, back once more and finally alive and well. No, my voice isn't fully 100%, but hey, it's better than nothing, guys, so bear with me here. So I do apologize for those that I've kind of left out into the dark. I had strep throat, unfortunately, that hit me up pretty bad, so as you can kind of hear too, I'm still kind of dealing with it a little bit. So, but I am joined today by my good friend, colleague Michael Bollinger, right now currently working with me here on the call. He will be joining us here in a little while, but nevertheless, as our field of drivers here, we've got a pretty good lineup here that's ready to go out of here. So I think honestly this is probably going to be an interesting showcase of raw talent, raw speed, and overall control patterned up in this pace and this process for each one of these guys and gals to kind of figure out like where to kind of nail down the corners and nail down their runs, especially with 100 laps here at Daytona International Speedway. So we'll see how that plays out.
Indeed, this is going to be a fun one to watch. And Christian, I'm glad to hear that you're back on the show. Even though you're not 100%, just glad that you're able to be back tonight. Yeah, it is going to be a fun one. Just another 250 miles, shy of 500 miles here tonight. This is still going to be a fun one here at Daytona, as warm-ups are just finishing up.
250 miles to the distance, long run, long race, going to be put up on the track. Let's take it down to our starting lineup here as we get them rolled into the gridding order today. Here's our starting lineup presented by the Winter Series here on the pole. Files number 32, that is AJ Stravato. And outside, number 78, that is going to be Christian Chalonier. I'm apologizing again already for anyone that we may miss those names.
Same here. Row number 2 will be Corey Sosler, and the 90 of Corey Sosler and the 24 of Justin Parsons.
I think the 90 is actually Saucier, just a heads up for his last name. Row number 3 is the 75 of Daniel B. Johnson, the outside, and the number 84, that'll be Jonathan Medeiros.
Row number 4 will be the 14 of Tom Wetmore and the 34 of Alan Parjay. Parjay.
There you go. All right, row number 5 is the 74 of Austin Fitzgerald, the outside. That's 65. That's going to be Chuck Sweeting.
Following will be the 61 of Thomas O'Hara and the 35 of Dustin Persteriner.
I think you kind of missed one there. That's the 60 of Gregory Hectus there in that field. But move on to row number 7, though, is the 35 there of Dustin Karshner. And then the outside, number 20, that is Jimmy John Curley.
Yes, sorry about missing that name there. Yeah, this is going to be a long one. And now our whole thing's getting jumbled up, so it's taking a minute to find where I am. Let's try to take over for a minute.
I'll take care of it. Row number 8 and the 44 is going to be Mackenzie Stevens, the outside, and then number 8, that is going to be Joshua Campbell. Row number 9 and the number 39, that's going to be Brad Wren, the outside, and the 72, that's David K. Hall. Row number 10 and the 4, it is Jake Bryan, the outside, and that number 16, it is Jeff Barnes. Row number 11 and the number 03, that is Kevin Vaughn, the outside, and the 23, that will be Dallas Pataska. Again, guys, I'm saying names wrong. Let me know in the comment section how to say it properly. Row number 12 is the 46, Justin Laurie, the outside. In the number 88, that is going to be Jake Hickson. In row number 13, that will be the number 89 there, Samuel Harris. The outside, the 19, that is Ty Ippolito. Row number 14 is the 55 there of Carlos Fonseca. And the outside, that 48, that is going to be Brandon Figiolia. And row number 15, that is going to be the 40 of Tim Phillips. The outside, and the 22 is Dave Fuge Jr. And finally, row 16 is going to be the 51 of Mike Ellis. The outside, in the 38, that is Joshua Mertz. That's your starting lineup.
And race fans, it's that time again. It is time for these drivers to send it up to have some fun at Daytona. With the fans on their feet, our pace car getting ready to head down to pit lane. As this is going to be a fun one, as it looks like we are exiting 3 and 4 now. Pace car did go down to pit lane. Fans are on their feet. They know it's about to get wild. It's going to be wild, and we are underway at Daytona in the Winter Series.
32 driver field, 100 laps to the distance. Let this race commence, and this one should be a doozy as we line them right down from the front straightaway here. Christian Chalonier immediately trying to take the real advantage as AJ Bravado immediately trying to take a drive on the outside.
Yes, it looks like I'm seeing a lot of these guys maybe in the back, maybe trying to think about maybe falling off early or something, because like we normally like to say, it's good to have friends at these plate tracks. Have friends, you have a good way of trying to make you run for the top. If you don't have friends and you go try to make this thing 3 wide, they'll leave you high and dry and you'll fall right back so fast.
Well, I think the hardest part about running this track too is you got Daytona International Speedway, 2.5 miles in length, a little bit more narrow than Talladega is, a harder track to kind of nail down and kind of master, and then you got a new group of drivers, never seen these drivers before, so the broadcaster, we really don't know what to expect. We don't really know any of these drivers' names or any positions here for what they'll be able to do. So, not knowing these drivers by any means, these guys could be well known amongst in the racing community, but the biggest thing is to me is how well they handle under the pressure and under nerves. We got a heavy list of competitors that are looking to take it on.
And at super speedways, it's going to take a lot of car control and a lot of driver awareness and track awareness when they start to wreck. That way you can try to keep your car in one piece. when it comes to wrecking, you would know how hard to hit your brakes and if you need to try to swerve left or right to avoid it. That would try to keep your car in one piece to keep your car running to the front of this pack.
3 out of 100 right now, currently being put up. Pajari right now trying to take an early jump up into the front lane there. As you see him going head to head there with Pearson and as well as Sean.
We also need to know this too. The 24 and the 34 right now, they're both running full throttle right now, while everyone else on back is running quarter to half crack throttle right now. They're still able to keep up a good pace. Now it doesn't come factor when it comes to pit stops and stuff, because the two cars in front right now are using more fuel since they're running at full throttle compared to everyone else running at half crack or 3/4 throttle right now, or 3/4 throttle.
I think the biggest problem right now, though, honestly, these drivers are going to kind of figure out. This is a pretty good sized group as well, pretty good set of lean up here. Is they're going to be kind of figuring out when and where their patience level just completely out the window. Do they decide to go for big runs earlier, or do they decide to make some big jumps around later? Because again, it's tough to make a crucial decision point, considering you got a lot of drivers trying to narrow down these turns, trying to narrow down these straightaways, with everyone just trying to like literally right up on each other's bumper.
Indeed, too. But I think this is one of the biggest fields that we've seen so far in program history, I recall, right? Or could I be wrong here?
It's one of, if not the, it's one of the most sizable fields. The biggest field I've ever seen on iRacing is a full 60-car field we had for the dirt track racing. A little fun time we had. That was back when the Lone Star Racing, if you guys know them, you'll understand them. They had this little annual Demolition Derby events they picked up. And we'd stop by every now and then and have a little fun, let's watch the show and try to somewhat be professional, but in reality, most of the time we were just laughing it up with them and having a few beers at the end of the race and enjoying that all, but it was all for a good cause. That was the whole point of the demolition derbies that they do on the dirt tracks, but obviously we haven't had much dirt racing, unfortunately, here on Pete Race TV in a while. So hopefully that will change here as updates continue to come along.
Well, aren't we going to be here on Sunday anyway again? Aren't we going to be here Sunday again for another good race too on Sunday?
Well, Sunday-wise, honestly, right now, the way it's looking, yeah, we should be in for a bit of a barn burner because we are back here in Daytona. So that should be an interesting little thing that I think a lot of those pedal metal racing guys are watching on right now with the Winter Series. The only difference is half the laps and probably a little bit under the field, but still a pretty sizable field.
And the Gen 6 cars too, not these Gen 7s we're watching right now.
Yeah, completely different strategies. You have to run Gen 6s versus Gen 7s. Gen 6s, you're going to have to be more aerodynamically dependent and more on the throttle constantly. Try to get the cars to kind of burst up and build up some speed here with these Gen 7s. They're so unevenly matched when in terms of being push pattern and trying to push around. So you're really kind of honing the craft of getting used to just being on the edge of your seat and on the nose of your tail as much as possible each race. So
it looks like this inside line right now has something working as they're able to start pulling away. It looks like maybe 4 or 5 cars lead right now. 4 or 5 car lead right now on the outside group.
Well, the 65 Chuck Sweeting right now, currently 9 spots up, and your race leader here, he currently leads the field in is Justin Pearson. Tristan Chalonier, who I'm reading this right, I believe has the highest I rating of the bunch today in this league, in this field. A 7,668 rating on him. He's going to be one tough animal, and plus he also is not from the North American side of things. He's actually on the European side. He's driving for looks like the UK and the Ireland bracket there for the club racing here.
Well, it's gotta be pretty late for him. What do you say?
I think it's probably a little bit of a wake-up call for him, honestly, in terms of what he has to deal with different kind of ovals. He is used, but again, he's got that state rating I rating from running these ovals. So who knows? Probably knows a thing or two about running on these plate tracks. But the thing is, we got 2 Canadian drivers as well joining him in the international flavor. We got Mackenzie Stevens and Gregory Hectus. He's also another Canadian driver here, so that should kind of give them a little bit of a different taste in terms of what the North American style drivers have to deal with. They're gonna have to learn from these international flavors and different details they got to bring to the table.
Yeah, well, the other part is think SVG when he came into the Shadow Street course, he showed our guys a little bit a thing or two of road racing.
Well, I think we got
But this is
kind of.
not.
I mean, we kind of think about that over a minute, though, Michael. I mean, the biggest thing is SVG is that he said like, yes, the cars are not the same as those supercars that he runs, and he was used to figuring out. But he was at least able to kind of get a grip of it and get a good idea of how to race it by simply just knowing from past and present styles of what the supercars can do. So in total, it actually made it just a little bit more interesting, a little bit more less of a struggle to figure out how to kind of nail down the track, and that's when they kind of all just kind of got snuck up on in terms of that road course racing, that street racing background.
That's what. Yeah, but well, that's a good part about iRacing too. He's probably able to practice on that car a bit before he went in as well. But and if you guys do notice a lot of these guys bobbing and weaving like that, because of how small these radiators are, if you stay locked up for too long, it restricts the airflow to your cars, and then that could do some bad things to your engine, blow your engine, put you and end your night fast. So that's why you see a lot of these guys weaving in and out when they come to a stop. When they get on a straightaway want to turn, they'll roll off sometimes and try to weave in and out, try to get air to their radiator to cool down their engines again.
Well, the problem is, again, we got to think about overall pacing, overall control. We got 100 laps. So we just passed the 10th lap marker. We're literally on lap 1 of 100, 11 of 100. These guys right now, they are looking at 2 overall criteria. Criteria number 1, saving the car, saving the equipment. Don't try to make it harder than it needs to be. Number 2, try to make sure that you still have breathing room and some time to spare when you need to get some moving and get some driving around there with these guys, because there's a lot that could go into it, and there's a lot that could go wrong. So patience is a virtue, and execution-wise is what makes it done right for this.
And also car control as well. And not trying to be stupid when you go 3 wide. Trying to hold in your line real well when you go 3 wide, because that's when trouble can ensue when you go 3 wide. Look for them to be going 3 wide with about 10 to 5-10 to go.
So far, though, patience level has been pretty good, I would say. They're kind of looking more towards, though, if we do have a caution come out, of course, we will chat with the drivers as well here to hear from them and feel their thoughts and presence here. But honestly, right now, kind of what I'm feeling from these guys here, at least is now up to the front, is Alan Pajari and Tom Whitmore and Alex and AJ Stavato seem to be getting a little bit impatient here, and it looks like they may be trying to make a little bit of a run quicker up to the front, and that seems to be getting them a little more backed up in the corners.
Also, what is going to be real big factor here today too is when you make your pit stops. If you try to pit with the manufacturer group, or if you try to stay out as long as you can. The best thing to do at super speedways is pit when your Chevy friends are pitting, you pit with them. When your Toyota friends are pitting, you pit with them. Or if your Ford friends are pitting, you pit with them. Because it'll make it easier when you guys come out to get drafted together, because you guys will lock a lot better than pitting with the Ford and exiting with the Ford.
I mean, I don't disagree with that strategy on the manufacturer side of things, but we got to kind of look at it from this angle too. You're looking at your overall drivers and friends and teammates that may not be in the car that you want necessarily to be around in terms of overall conditioning and practice and strategy here. I think the biggest thing these guys right now are currently looking at and towards is whether or not it is going to be worth the risk and the effort of burning up the fuel in the front and losing that lap or 2 that they may need, or losing the fuel run when they need it most. And that could be a very tough little predicament. They need to be very careful of deciphering when and where they decide to make their charge and make a run for the top.
Indeed there. As right now, we have the 34 out to a 2.5 car length right now over the 33 right now. But right now, these cars are running top speed around, well, I'm seeing 190, close to 195 right now. When you think plate racing, you don't think that anymore. You would think that would be back in when they were running the 87s, the Earnhardt days, before they brought plates onto these bigger tracks like
Well,
Dallas, Talladega, and Daytona.
I got 202, 201 miles per hour right now, registered on your race there, Alan Bajari there. So I think it's safe to say he's actually got a pretty good amount of speed there locked up in that into that car there.
But it ain't easy to get to 200 anymore as what it used to be, either. Possible, but hard to do. You have to have the right setup.
Well, no matter what you do, it's always going to be a lot harder than it looks. It's going to be harder to kind of master control. The biggest thing is, like I said, it's just a matter of pacing, the timing, and the pit strategy when that comes around. There's so much pit strategy that really, I think, many people fail to remember and look carefully at. And that's what really costs them in the long run for these races, and it costs them for the short run too, because really, you don't go in there when you need to and make that mistake, it costs you and everything.
Yes, it could. So now it looks like it's now getting up to a 4.5 car lead now, 4-hour race leader. It looks like we're having still a little bit of a battle going on though. It looks like we might be seeing someone trying to go through. Nope, trying to cross his radiator.
See a lot of drivers weaseling, wobbling, and wobbling around there, like you said earlier. But honestly, right now, it looks like this is kind of now turning into more of just a kind of a controlled rhythm, a controlled line for every one of these drivers. And only the best right now can dictate the pace and dictate the controls. We'll go on board here with Justin Lowry in the back of the pack.
It looks like he might have something cooking by riding the back for this long. Because by riding the back, could lock in a chance to make a good run for the front pretty soon. They'd all wreck out because you'd see it and have a lot more time to brake and avoid it. So locking brakes up and sliding in, having a harder time avoiding it. That's why I like riding the back sometimes at these big tracks for that reason. I try to start in the back and from there I'll try to pick them off one by one.
Well, I've tried doing that before and it doesn't seem to work out for me. It seems like I'm the one that gets picked off one by one. Usually the only way I've been able to succeed here in these kind of races is just stay more towards where I know the good people are and versus where the bad people are, and then just get back from there. And if I figure out everyone's bad, then I'll either just try to stay as far away from them as I can, or just try to make it up to the front as possible, as quick as possible.
Yeah, well, like I've seen before in a few races here, or at all these plate tracks, everyone tries to get so aggressive. You see them all wreck out lap 1, and then you have, like, one time that happened to me, I went from dead last to running third within not even a whole lap, because everyone wrecked out on just the first lap. Doesn't say how aggressive people will get at these tracks on the first lap, and I don't know what will.
Well, I'll tell you this much there, Michael. I mean, one thing that I will say, running up front, running in the back, anywhere in the middle especially, it's very, very scary when you're literally going 200 miles per hour and side by side with these guys in general. You think that's crazy enough to go 3 wide sometimes. No, it's absolutely insane sometimes what happens or what you feel just by simply being in that situation.
3 wide. Try staying 4 wide sometimes at Talladega, because they'll try to go 4 wide at Talladega, and that's how the big coming to the checkered flag. You'll see them try to go 4 wide in the tri-oval. Then the whole big one will ensue from there. All of them trying to get back 3 wide. Coming out of the tri-oval, coming to the checkered flag.
Somebody ought to ask the drivers how that worked out for them sometimes.
Doesn't work out that well, because I've seen it in person once. 2022 Geico 500.
Well, I can at least say when I was Speedway rolls around there, I will be around there watching these actual NASCAR Cup Series drivers. So trust me when I say it, folks. I'm as excited as can be, but I'm also a little greedy because I'm just glad to finally be able to get out there.
I'm excited to be watching these cars right here go at it in real life in February.
Yeah, we already know you're going to the Daytona 500 there, buddy. You can actually see everything right there and the spot on the show.
Now I'm just getting a preview of what I'm gonna see. Yeah, I will be after that week, race fans. I don't know how many races it'll be, but I'll keep you guys informed on that as we go.
Onboard camera right now with Austin Fitzgerald here. It's currently Daniel Harris, Daniel B. Johnson still trying to navigate and scratch through the fields. Fitzgerald, a little bit of a different strategy, laying low and then running when he needs to. Kind of seems like more and more of these drivers are shuffling back off a little bit. It looks like the 61 there, Thomas O'Hara. A little problem down there as he's currently going knack at it there with AJ Stravato, the 32 driver. He's currently pushing them back and forth, and each driver seems to be kind of getting a little off balance, off shape. They need to get the cars a little bit of air, then collect themselves, push the car back up, and then push it back into there, and they have a chance to actually make a move here.
I was taking a look at the schedule for this season earlier tonight, and I'm kind of excited to watch the race at the Glen. I think that's gonna be a fun one to play out in a few weeks over at the Glen. What's the race you're most excited to see this upcoming for the season?
You're really gonna ask me that one?
I'm talking about for the Winter Series.
Whoa, 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 a little trouble down there, a little problem there. Dave Few Jr. going out a little bit off the track, a little bit, almost puts himself into problematic territory. Sorry, didn't mean to kind of question you on that one there, Michael. I got a little bit too carried away with it with the race season we have on right now, as well as like what we're seeing here on the track. Overall, though, I mean, for the race, I'm looking forward to, I'd say probably my favorite out of the bunch probably is going to be Homestead Miami Speedway or Nashville Super Speedway. Maybe even Bristol, the 250 lapper there, because I think more than anything, that could be where you see a lot of big names and big faces really take quite a bit of a showcase there.
More than likely New Hampshire as well, if that being just a little bit longer version of Bristol, but also just as tight as Martinsville, but just like Bristol and Martinsville combined almost. What I like to call the middle child.
Like I said, Bristol right now currently needs a little bit of an update with that car, unfortunately, or it needs to get something figured out in general.
We had a car in the wall off 1 and 2. Okay, maybe just took a little bit of side and took a little bit of damage.
Couldn't quite tell who that was that got into the damage territory, got in the problem there.
I'll try to get it for you guys right now.
One-fourth of the way there, though. So far, so good. Been pretty clean, pretty steam. But pit stops are still to come.
Still trying to find who it was, but I think I might have just found who it was. Yeah, it was the 44 of Stevens who was in the wall 3 and 4, off 1 and 2. But he's okay, just a little bit of damage on his passenger side. Just a little bit of a wall scrape, that's all. But he just took a little bit of damage, not that much. Now, if he was in the middle of the pack, that probably could have been a little bit of trouble, but thank goodness he was in the back. As we're just a little over a quarter of the way through this race.
Field's starting to kind of slow down a little bit too, looks like, in terms of making moves, making some adjustments, but the speed certainly haven't slowed down. Still 200 miles per hour, the fastest these guys have pushed their limits up to. I'd say right about now, though, honestly, it may look more and more like these guys could be getting a little bit more comfy, a little bit more drastic on their measures here if they're not careful.
I say, Christian, though, the one thing we haven't talked about yet is the fuel window. We'll be looking to see when everyone's going to start, when the fuel's going to be jumbled up when it comes to green flag pit stops.
Well, the biggest problem with what they're going to have to do again is we're going to have to focus directly on getting to that bottom lane, getting down to that pit exit there off pit, or pit entry off pit road in turn number 4. And then they're going to have to try to figure out on the top side how to kind of push them off that bottom and in there as well. So really, if you're stuck on that top, when you need to get to that bottom lane, that just completely throws you for a complete loop on a 180 there.
Yes, it does. So that's why you want to start finding a way down low with about 3 to 5 laps of fuel left. That way you can get down there and get ready to pit. Or announce it. That way people know you're getting ready to pit too. Not to let you, if you're on the high side, let you low. If that's how people want to be. But sometimes people won't let you low. You have to find your own way low on the low side.
Well, the number 44, Mackenzie Stevens, has gone to pit road here, so I'm not sure. Maybe that was just due to the damage there sustained. Oh, yeah, that's definitely damage sustained there. Just took one look at that 44. That thing is tore up on the right side. So I believe in your car you were looking at earlier there, Michael, that got into that wall off turn 1 and 2. But whatever the case may be, the damage is too severe. I don't think he'll be able to come back out.
If anything, it was probably that right rear toe link. So, you know, just a slight contact in the wall, and that thing could bend or break easily sometimes. And slight contact, you may think it might be slight contact, but how fast you go into that wall at almost 200 miles an hour? That could easily do more damage than you think. Looks like it has more damage than he thought, so that's why he went down the road.
Well, just imagine literally you do like 40 miles per hour hitting a little wall off or something. Imagine how that must feel.
But doing that 100 plus, almost 200, 2 times as worse. Tough break for him. Looks like right now he's one of the last cars on the lead lap, as it looks like he lost some people already. Honestly, it looks like he might have came back on the field, so I'm looking at my life timing scoring. Looks like we're slowly but surely getting single file. Oh, the car in the wall! It was a Toyota Camry. It was the Toyota Camry. Didn't catch who it was just yet.
Really missed on my end there. Couldn't even catch it either. A little movement down though.
Looks like we're starting to get single file now.
John Curley there in the number 20 getting a little bit all over the place, shaped out, and then threw it right in between Ty and Pilodio, as well as Dave Hughes Jr. Each driver trying to get out of that mess quickly, but almost taking their heads with it.
It looks like pit stops might be coming soon, as everyone's starting to get single file now. Stormy means pit stops are getting ready to come as you see if you see them break up from 2x2 and start picking single file. That's normally the sign on the track that they're getting ready to pit, but you never know. Lap traffic getting ready to be a big factor as well in this. We have a few cars trying to keep it 2x2 right now, unless the lap traffic. It's kind of hard to tell right now. By the looks of things, it's like their lapped traffic that already went to pits or something, by the way they're running right now.
Yeah, so it looks like, I think that might have been Dustin Karchner, Jeff Barnes, Jake Bryan, Jonathan Medeiros, Brandon Figueroa, and then Joshua Merz as well that went into the pit stops there. And now that currently some of those guys are getting their lap traffic situation thrown at them.
This is where it could mean chance of crashing Oscar. 3 wide for just a brief moment. 3 wide for just a brief moment. Right now the momentum from the 23 has been blocked. By the 34 has been blocked by the 23.
I bet
Still
early, in my opinion, if you start blocking like that.
I don't know why he'd block either. He's not the faster car right now. Yes, he has the fresher tires, but he's still not the faster car. I don't think the 34 is going to be happy about that move. For a second, on one of our angles, it looked like the lead car, the high line, looked like he had a little bit of damage on his front end, but no, it's just the camera angle that we had made it look like that.
Justin Rory, the number 26, he gone 22 spots up, hard charger for the lead now. Took it away there from Dallas Pataska there, and ended up heading up around Alan Pajari as well. A lot of movement there, and I'm kind of surprised taking the lead so quickly, almost so efficiently too. It's kind of impressive to say the least, but now I had myself on kind of the receiving end on whether or not the speed and the pace will still be there.
I'm surprised a lot of these guys that want to pass them haven't thought about trying to go high yet and slow them down by not having any drafting partners with them to help keep them going. Because about 2 or 3 of these guys move up, they're gonna lose momentum. That's 2 leaders right now. That's gonna be a huge momentum killer. Something about Paladin at Daytona is, for people that do the infield camping, they can go fishing right in the infield. If they don't feel like going to Walmart or something to get food. Because from what I heard, that if you camp at Daytona, once Speed Week start, you can't leave the infield unless you have a vehicle parked on the outside. So you can do fishing in Lake Floyd right on the infield of Daytona too. If you need more food as well.
All I
If you guys want to think about that fun fact.
All I can say is that if you're going over there, Michael, in the February there, I hope you can find yourself a lot of food and time there to make sure, or at least have a ride outside that track if that's the case, because that's a big track you got to work with there, bud. And speaking of some working around, Joshua Campbell, big work around there on the number 8, try to draft off and try to make a huge pass to move up to the field, but still no help from any of the other drivers, and that's not helping him out any more on his cause to try to get to the front.
I won't even be able to do infield camping, but I'll be doing infield parking on race day. Come race day out here, I'll be having infield parking, which will be real fun. It looks like pit stops might be coming in now. We might be seeing some green flag. Yes, green flag pit stops are underway for most of the field. Chevys and Fords are going in. And a few Toyotas as well. That broke up the field a lot.
Pit route 3 wide there, coming off from turn 1 and 2 there. Justin Laurie, Ty Poliotto, and Christian Chalonier taking some moves, making some aggressive hits there to try to take that position away.
Looks like we're gonna be seeing more pit stops coming here as well. As a lot of these drivers are still staying in the bottom lane. Now it looks like I was right on strategy calls, trying to get low about 3 to 5 laps before you pit. And the rest of the field's coming in now. Let's look what is pitted. Samuel Harris right now still continuing to stay out. Tyler Pato, it looks like he might be having some issues as he's leading for a brief moment. as the fields as most of the fields starting to headed back out onto the field, onto the track.
Five guys right now currently just struggling to get their paces up, trying to get back onto the track here. As currently they're just now leaving out from pit road. You can see a majority of them going to have the advantage of being in the close proximity of each other. Challenger, Harris, Johnson, Fitzgerald, Ippolito, and Hickson. They'll have at least a pretty good sized group, but they're going to need to get out of pit road quickly before the heavy hitters start closing up on them.
Looks like that's going to be happening anytime soon now. But who knows, as these are starting to get back up to speed, but the rest of the guys are still trying to get up to speed too. And here comes the rest of the field coming out of 3 and 4. Looks like they're heading into the trioval now. These guys that just pitted better get together, get going. They want to have a chance to contend for their lead still.
They're getting out of pit road now, but they've got a little bit of a problem on their hands.
I know, the field's coming up on them fast. Yeah, I bet they see that in their rearview mirrors right now, too. They better get out there and get bunched up, because here they come. That was 1 and 2. Here comes the field.
I think what kind of surprised me a little bit here, Michael, is the fact of that we have seen now these drivers go into pit road and get out, and now they're on literally a strategy now that really centers around trying to make that almost half a race length set kind of work for them in this case, because they're going to need every bit of extra speed they can. They need all the fuel they were going to be able to get and really use up. I don't think it's going to be enough though to kind of help out in their case. They got to be really careful now.
Well, pit stop's complete on lap 42, 43. Now we know they can get about 42 laps of fuel for 1 run. So we're looking about one more stop to finish this race. Unless we get another late caution that everyone might go in to top off on some of that Sunoco racing fuel and take a good fresh set of Goodyear Racing Eagles.
Just under halfway done so far. It's been really a matter of attrition and precision. We've seen Pataska in the lead, Bajari in the lead, Sweeting in the lead, Lowry in the lead, Stravato in the lead, Challenger in the lead. Even seeing a little bit of Ibiota as well, kind of making a little bit of a run for it. Pearson, Fitzgerald, and Harris, they all were in that little category here. This is where the pace though really starts to thicken up, and it starts to become a lot harder to nail down to.
Yes, it does, because once this field is spread out like this, it's harder to get back together again, unless there's a caution or if everyone tries to go down pit road at the same time, which could be big trouble if the whole field tries to go down at the same time to pit road. But honestly, this has turned out so far the racing that I know that we like to call. Fun racing, like fun hard racing like this. This is not the late models that we call on Tuesdays. These are the actual cup cars. Some of these guys are looking like these SLM cars for guys right now. How hard they're racing. Looks like pack number 2 starting to catch pack number 1 right now as well. The next 2 laps or so, we should see one big pack again. As that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea to try to go too hard without any help. You're gonna fall slowly to the back again. You don't want to be doing that. Here comes the smaller pack. Smaller pack I was just talking about. Catching up slowly but surely. Right now, 23 still out front. Del Seca. He's 21 spots up. It's hard to get 21 spots real easy. It's not easy. It's not easy to get 21 spots real fast, but it's still possible. This is plate racing. It takes patience, concentration, and timing of pits like to be first in, first out. Kids also using just a little bit more fuel as well than everyone else out there tonight. But 34 Jerry's also looking good as well too. Looking real good too. It's looking like our race leader, the 23 of Dallas Seca, it has a high rating of 381. Not as high as Chandler, but Christian Calhina, but he still pretty good high rating, so for him to try to also win this race as well. Race fans, we are just under halfway. 2 laps till halfway. So far, so good. Green flag racing so far. This is still looking like some good old-fashioned plate racing here. This thing should be going too wide pretty soon. Again. Waiting for that moment to happen. Right now you're seeing them right around 190, 191 right now. 194 some of them. But still some really good hard racing from everybody still so far.
Hard racing and so much time left on the clock here. Again, halfway now, finally done with this race. Honestly, so far, genuinely been impressive with how these guys have been handling and how they've been able to deal with the overall pace, the control, and the momentum that they are dealing with right now.
Indeed there, Christian. Now the one thing that does make the big difference here at Daytona compared to the Gen 6s and these Gen 7s, the pit stops are just a little bit faster by, I think by like what, 2.3 seconds if I'm correct on that, Christian? Because of the single lug nut compared to the 5.
I'd say roughly around there, yeah. But the problem is with iRacing though is they really can't calculate that in very well, so they haven't really done much with it either. So I think honestly it's about the same for the way they've been playing it out at.
But I know a lot of these guys though will stay longer to take that extra few gallons, the extra few seconds of fuel, because that could make the whole difference as well in a race.
So
but extra fuel?
A bit extra fuel. Let's say gap-wise right now too, we're looking at from here about 1 through 11. It's about a second off from each other there, so they're pretty close together in terms of speed. But then everyone else from there is about 2 seconds back from that, and that's where their run and their strategy is starting to kind of come out of commencing here. So 12th on down. Currently, they're separated out by 7 to 8 seconds to the race leader, or they're separated out by a wide margin of majority. So now this looks like it is truly starting to turn more into whoever made that first pit stop right. Now they've got to figure out how to make the second one work just as good, or have to hope that caution comes out eventually in due time here.
Well, if you haven't been noticing, it looks like the two highest rating drivers are probably going to be eventually putting a fight to it real fast. As Christian looks like he's starting to catch up just a little, but making a run for the front now as well pretty soon. I think those two will be fun to watch. Princeton and Dallas at a 7,000 and a 6,000 I rating. Go head to head.
I'd like to see them honestly just go head to head at each other with really just with a big fight out the last hurrah, if you will, in terms of like them actually being on a mile and a half or a short track. See what they could do with that in this case, because I always love seeing these highest, the fastest, toughest guys going at it. Usually that means they can pretty much push each other faster, limits and faster stuff, and see who comes out on top of the other.
Indeed there. But we don't know what's going to happen yet. We don't know if even our race winner is going to finish this race. We don't know yet. But do we know the guy in last place could win this race? We don't know. Anything can still happen here. Because one bump in these next gens will upset that car and put you in the wall. Because these next gens can get upset easy. Think Bubba Wallace, Ryan Blaney, 2023 Geico 500. Blaney, Bob Draft, Wallace, they both slid high, hit the wall. Turn 1 and 2, race over. Took out the whole field, pretty much, almost. That's just saying how much the race can change. Also, a big fact in this race too, the transition from day to night. We didn't mention that earlier.
Well, I think honestly, probably leave you to mention that one there. Honestly, with the day to night transitions, what I've kind of learned is that cooler temps can be a little bit trickier to kind of nail down because now the track isn't as quite as grippy, so it gets kind of loosens, it tightens up a bit. Whereas when you have the sun, it gives you a little bit more sticky stuff to kind of work with there in terms on the rubber and actually build up. So it allows them to actually kind of grip towards and work off from there, and that's one thing they're really hoping for in this case.
Indeed there, as it has become, as night has fallen a while ago here at Daytona. So expect track conditions to start changing here pretty soon as the track starts to cool down just a little. Because track temp is a key factor as well to help keep in grip.
What I'm kind of interested to know is like how the packs kind of deal with in terms of trying to catch back up to each other. Because again, right now the difference between Samuel Harris in the 11th spot and the 89 versus the 60 of Gregory Hectus, who's right now currently back behind him. That's about a 3.5 second difference time keep wise, and that's a lot harder than it looks to actually get back to. As we take a look at our time zone here, they're not exactly getting any speed back, and they're not building up anything towards it. So that tells you that really there's not a whole lot they can do. They can only just kind of work from there and hope that other groups will work with them.
Well, what also can happen too, that's probably what, going back to the thing you're talking about, the sticky stuff on the track, grip. That's probably what's going down to it too. The lack of grip is what's helping keeping these cars from firing off that grip from pit stops as well. So expect that to come into play on these new Goodyear Racing Eagles when they decide to take them. Single file racing at super speedways, personally I would say is a little bit better than two wide super speedway racing because it's a lot harder to have a wreck ensue, but a wreck can still ensue at single file racing.
I was about to say, you're ensuing that literally just trying to drive a single file line with a big train on the Daytona side there is actually going to be a little bit better and easier to watch than the old two-side dirt racing, my friend.
No, just from the experience I've had in real life and that I've seen being a part of super speedway racing in general a few times on iRacing, that it's harder to have a big wreck single file than it is at 2x2. Because if you're on the low side, you could spin out, shoot high, take out half the high line. But if you're on the high side, you could spin out, shoot down, take out half the low line. Then from there, they could take out half the whole field from there. Taking out from everybody's jumbling, spinning, and everything. That all again goes back to track awareness and car control as well. but anything can still happen right now.
So just a heads up too, next week, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we will be back live here on the show. Atlanta Motor Speedway next up on the radar. I am not completely sure if it is old Atlanta or if it's new Atlanta they're running, so we may get another bit of plate track racing in the mix. We'll have to see, but one thing that's for sure, though, is that it will be an absolute insanity race-filled spot for every one of these guys. They have to figure out if they show this field here.
And if it's old Atlanta, think Texas. But if it's new Atlanta, think Daytona and Charlotte mixed.
I would not even for the life of me even mix Atlanta, old Atlanta with Texas Motor Speedway, even if I was on my best day ever, honestly.
I'm talking about in terms of grip.
No, not even in terms of grip. Honestly, I would even just put them even in the same category. At least in Atlanta, you have a little bit more. You have some grip down there versus what you would back in Texas in turn 1 and 2.
Well, I guess we'll find out the same time you guys do next week, which Atlanta it is.
Well, for now, though, you kind of look right on here and see how the driver's kind of hanging down the boots and kind of hammering down the track. Everybody right now forcefully and continuously trying to nail down each corner and just trying to stay out of trouble as we are down to the final 39 laps left in this race.
Wow, it's going by faster than you would see it on TV, too. Well, in real life, it's going by a little faster.
Yeah, but how many cautions do they have in real life versus what they have right now? I mean, really, we've had
a lot.
None.
But we haven't done one of these in a long time. I'm feeling maybe do a little bit of a pedal to the metal moment.
Yeah, if you feel like cranking up a little bit here or there, yeah, we can certainly do that. Crank up the loud tuners, guys. Let's crank it up. That's a full pedal to metal power action right there, race fans. We let it up a little bit here on the track and on the circuit here. Just enough to keep the excitement thrilling and the excitement going. And right now, still, I'm looking at constantly thinking maybe Dallas Patasia, Alan Jari, as well as Chuck Sweetney, maybe just a little bit off their game plan right now. Maybe just trying to tighten things back up a bit before things get really hectic.
Agreed there. It looks like they're starting to pull away just a little, but that still doesn't matter because anything can still happen here.
And from one traveling pack to the other traveling pack, you can just see how far each one is from the other. These guys right now, honestly, I think they were really focused on just trying to find their opening and trying to find their chance here, considering how brutal and tough it has been on them to define this kind of race here.
Well, I'm excited to see how these last few rounds of pit stops are going to go, because that last round of pit stops could make or break your chances at winning here today if it goes bad. But if it goes good, you could have a chance at getting out early and getting back in that lead. Or if you're in the mid-pack, pit sooner than these guys in these lead pack and have a chance at pit a lap or two sooner, than have a chance at getting back up to speed by the time these guys in the lead pack come back to pit road. the risk are having worn down tires and less fuel. But anything can still happen. We're not in the car, we don't know what these strategies are, we can only say what strategies could happen.
You can only predict so much before you mentally just start to wear and tear your mind out, as much as it probably feels like to be in that actual car itself. I can tell you right now, it's impossible to figure out truly what goes through a driver's mind, let alone what they're even thinking.
Without having a scanner so we can see what's going on in the cars.
No, you just can't see what's going on in the cars either. You just need a scanner to see what's in their neurological ways and their brain cells there.
That's a good idea. But I feel like
Well,
this
you
is
were the
gonna
one that asked over here, so I had to throw something out of the way.
I know. I'm agreeing with you right there. And it looks like right now we have the 34 and the 23 right now trying to do a bit of a bumper lock, trying to get a little bit of speed going together. And I wouldn't want to be that one that had that one car going. Looks like the 33 TRD Camry 89. I wouldn't want to be him right now trying to go back 2 lanes without having help. That's a bad idea, going 2 lanes without any help. They ain't me out to dry. But you should be seeing pit stops shortly, race fans. Looks like when we do see pit stops, it's gonna be fun to do, fun to watch, fun to see. It looks like we now broke up into 3 different packs as well now. Maybe some laps of traffic about to be a factor again in this. Yeah, we got some laps of traffic about to be a big factor.
The pit strategy's now starting to roll back up again, and I know I'm just gonna real quickly say it again, guys. I know I've been in and out as well in the call today, but gotta remember still dealing with strep throat, so should be all good by tomorrow. If not, hopefully we should be rocking and rolling there by Sunday night. But yeah, right now currently the way that things have been kind of looking more towards, I think honestly, if Pataska is already work through their way through that traffic, kind of figure out their way to round these guys and drivers that are coming from pit road and pit side, as well as the guys behind them, and it stays green. I think honestly staying out later may actually have been the better actor.
I'm thinking we probably even need this whole 3-hour session. What are you thinking?
Well, they only said that way they just have time to finish this race out.
I know, thinking it would go about 3 hours, because with this being 100 laps, it could go easily 3 hours if it's a wreck fest. Thank goodness it's not being a wreck fest yet, knock on wood. Looks like now there's a little bit of help on the outside now, trying to go too wide, but let's see how that's gonna play. Looks like somebody's got to get a little squirrely now. Trying to keep air off their car, trying to stay in line.
Kind of a shocker to me right now, but currently David K. Hall in that crew there with Jake Hexon, excuse me. Looks like Samuel Harris and Gregory Hectics right now currently separating out only so much far now. That was only about a 3-second gap. Now it has turned into about a 2.9695 gap. So that gap may be getting closed out again here, and we'll see. But it's still a little bit of ways away, and that could be trouble if you're not thinking too far ahead.
Now, if I was that second pack, I would think about going a lap or two before these guys in front of me. That way I could try to get some speed built up before they get out of pits or before they go into pits. That way we have the advantage. But this lead pack right now being the bigger pack, I don't think it would last long for that mid pack right now. .48 looks like he got a little loose. Correction, the 46 had the wrong side of it. I didn't have much of a good look at the number until I got down to the backstretch here. And the lead pack, half the lead pack coming in. Half the lead pack is coming in.
Have lead pack coming in now. Pit stops going to be crucial here. Because again, going in this early, it's this late, could set these drivers up a bit for their overall position, their overall conducive. They're going to need to be very smart here.
And yes, they are. And that mid pack now, just thinking they need to go in now as well. It's going to actually help that mid pack going in. Because now that mid pack's going to have to pit before they lose a chance on having speed. Here comes the rest of the lead pack coming in down pit lane as well right now.
Pit stop's going to be crucial here. Braking crucial. Momentum carrying through. Well done, honestly. I'm very impressed there with the pit stops. And those that were behind are going to carry through.
Which means this mid pack right now being the lead pack, probably will stay out longer to try to get a few laps under the belt where they can try to stay out longer and have less time in pits. No more time in pits, but have laps led.
And here comes that final group going to pit road now. So now this is a crucial moment for them because they are the ones that could either make it or break it to keep up with those that went into pit road when they went in. Very crucial pit stop strategies being thrown out as the other field drivers decide to go the distance again. They're going to stay out, and it looks like they're going to try to roll through more.
Now it's going to try to hopefully these lead pack guys, this mid pack guys get 2x2 now and try to get something built up.
Well, I don't think they'll go 2 and 2. I think it's going to be more or less can they just survive off what they got, and it looks like that may not be the case here. And it looks like there is a 2x2 race going up. I don't think they should be going that crazy just yet. They still have some work to do, and they still have an issue at hand, which is if any of them get a pit caution out on that track, oh boy, I would not want to be you guys right about now.
Neither would I if caution comes out. Here comes the lead pack. 3 wide, 3 wide.
Sorry for the jammer cuts there, guys. We're just trying to keep up with the drivers and figure out where we're at on the position of where we're at here on the track. Jeff Barnes right now currently your new leader, the Pepsi Cola number 16, currently leading the field down as they have yet to go on to pit road as well. I think, though, they may be starting to push their luck a little bit, considering the fact that you got other guys that went in earlier or went later on, and they really pushed you to the limit.
You know, unless they already went down pit lane too, that could have also been a factor too. Because he's plus 19, so he more than likely already pitted. Why don't we take a look at laps since pit, that way we can see when the last time the 16 of Barnes went into pit lane.
Pit stop Centlink now on your screen there, ladies and gentlemen, and lap number 40 and 41. Some 39 actually for South Sierra there. I'm kind of surprised he's even still out on the car he's going right now. The rest of the field, 76, 75, then 74 respectively, their last pit stops. That's a very big telling tale there, and that's a very crucial point that they're going to have to really into. Guys like Jeff Barnes, Jake Bryan, they're currently trying to go the full distance, but it's not going to be enough. And there's the pit stop now as they enter in for the pit stop. And definitely don't want to lose control there, but unfortunately that 4 of Jake Bryan almost took himself with the eye. Yeah, there, right there, Michael.
It was about to be another Chase Briscoe moment. If you remember back to the Geico 500 2023, that Chase Briscoe moment in the way he was going into the pits, that brought out the second caution of the day that race.
It just about happened there. Now that completely throw their monkey wrenches into the books there. They were hoping for a caution. Not going to get it. Challenger, your dude leader.
As it looks like now we have the number 4 and the 35 right now working together right now by themselves, trying to get the rest of their group with them, as they're all trying to get back up to speed right now. Alright, this is getting to what I was saying. There's gonna be a battle between the I ratings, looks like. But we have Dallas Kasaika mid-pack right now toward around 10th, but we need to have him try to work his way back up front with Christian Calhina so he can try to give him a good run for the lead. Now, I'm impressed so far how this race has ran, race fans. But who remembers how last night's race was last night? 4 cautions last night in the SLM race, but it's still a pretty fun one to call. Glad I was able to be in the booth last night for you with the to bring the action to you guys last night. Looks like we're seeing a little bit of 2-wide action in this lead pack here. But 2-wide action is not going to be enough to make a run for the lead. And we got lap traffic coming in the way again. Lap traffic about to be another major factor. And the 20 sees a lap field coming, so he decides to be nice and get up high. But we have that second pack now, that small second pack starting to make a run now as well as the backpack as well, trying to make a good run, trying to make it to the front with only a few laps to go here at Daytona. Right now we have the 78 putting on a show right now. Of Christian Kalhina. He's putting on a good show right now.
He's been basically just kind of keeping the lead for quite a while today here and been more focused than ever, I think, to kind of take control. I think he's kind of hoping that it kind of stays that way and he'll be able to stay under control with that spaces.
We also can't count out anybody yet, though. Still, we have the 51 and the 39 starting to make a run now as well. Well, the 78 and the 19 going at it, and some bump drafting right now.
Looks like a little bit of momentum kind of kicking up a bit there on that number 89, Samuel Harris, as he works that number 51 a little bit. Maybe trying to get some help down there. But I'm not sure. Maybe he'll have enough time to do it there, especially considering how late this one's getting.
Getting late in the race as we should, as we'll, more than likely, as it looks like it'll become to 13 to go this time by.
You're wondering who the 51 is, because you can't figure out on the number. That's the reason why. He's supposed to be driving the 14. That's Tom Wetmore. Currently right now looking to get to the top of the spots line there. The big push there is at 33. Vegas Romano decided to just go for broke and go for a run there. Took a big chance and threw that block and then got himself a whole bumper forest trouble. But that was what he needed to try to get the jump to make the run for the on the outside for the lead. He's got a big push coming there. Chalonier watches in horror and disgust. He knows it's coming.
And here comes the second pack now as well. The second pack from the pit stop decided to join as we're going 3 wide, 3 wide, 3 wide, 3 wide salute. Coming into Daytona, going to 3 and 4. 3 wide salute. And the 51 throws the block for the lead.
Safe to say absolutely nothing and nobody is safe here. It is now just all a part of just trying to hang on, trying to nail everything you can under control and hope for the brakes and hope for the best.
Now let's just hope this backpack now can catch up and we can get a whole 2x2 field going again. .46 throws the block on the 33. 46 light contact in the wall. Looks like the 33 might be having some issues.
Maybe a little too late for that one. They can't have any more. They can't have any more issues now. They need to be watching everything they got. Wetmore with the lead, is now the field currently starting to stretch up as they're still 3 wide there a little bit, trying to back off. They got to be careful. We've had no cautions this entire race. Can they keep this going with 11 laps to go?
Don't be giving us a broadcasting curse, you know.
Hey, don't look at me. I'm not the one who owns the whole lap break and this kind of stuff.
Hey, but hey, we'll take it green flag all the way though, won't we? As it looks like that backpack is still trying to catch up to them, but I don't think it would be good enough. But I don't think they would get it fast enough as we are coming to 10 to go. The 10 fingers have been given by the flagman. Now this is where the racing is going to get aggressive. With 10 to go, it's going to be starting to get aggressive now.
Then last lap,
like
that's pretty much your death sentence at that point, Michael. It's pretty much now, just can you hang on till you try to stay out of trouble just long enough.
Well, now here's our last pack that came to pit now. That's also going to try to make a big factor in this last pack if they can catch up or not as well. This far back pack, let's try to catch him right now. That with this pack that's up front right now, that's about to get lapped, that might bring a factor into place.
down to the final laps here now, Michael. 8 laps left to go. Wetmore still your leader. Talonier of Ipiota, Lori, Jari, and Sweeting right now trying to find some grip and trying to find a run here and trying to nail up the speeds they can. This is really now where everything just starts to get a little bit more intense, because now you being that leader means you got the biggest target on your back, and either you learn how to deal with the pushing behind, or you best better figure out how not to get left behind.
I agree with there. Because if he decides he had enough of the pushing, he's gonna lose at least 3 spots trying to fall back at this point. Or if he goes to the middle line, he'll lose everything and he'll fall back to the back of the pack. As we are getting ready to come down to 7 to go.
Coming down the lanes right now, currently looks like we could be in for a bit of a drive off here, as it looks like Bajari is trying to get Harris as well as Lori to work with them. Lap traffic is in front though, like you said a second ago. This now becomes an extremely big factor with 6 laps left. That could end up being the making of the difference maker. Let's see what lap traffic does. They currently work their way to the outside. The rest of the field staying towards the middle, towards the bottom lane, trying to shoot for the gap here.
Well, this lap traffic, if they stay on that wall right there, that can make this becomes a three wide race for the lap traffic. And that's looking like that's is gonna be happening, as that is what's happening.
Yep, that's what's happening. That's what's gonna happen, and they're gonna throw themselves into that mess. They're gonna try to find a little extra give out here. As now we go 5 laps to go. Now 5 on your screen for this final shootout of the race.
Here comes and here comes on by the 19 now. 19 trying to make a run for it.
Trying to get a little bit extra kick up there as Chuck Sweeting as well as Dallas Patatska. The other guys trying to move. Yep.
This is where it's going to get interesting. We have the 89 now trying to take us 3 wide. No help.
19 of Ipiotto though. Ipiotto got the race lead now. Ty trying to do this one in an unthinkable manner. Going hard charge 25 to 26 to 25 up for the win. Getting pump drafted though pretty hard though. Aggressive from Wetmore, and Wetmore punched him down the below yellow line. And now Wetmore having to let him back in. Ty able to capitalize on it successfully, getting out of the mess, but no. It is a lot of trouble to be had.
Well, like I said, it's time to get aggressive. Time is now for everything. 3, 4 wide, maybe 3 wide, 4 wide, maybe stretching it. But they're going to be starting to get aggressive now as laps are winding down. As they're coming to 3 to go.
They may wind down, but that doesn't mean these field of drivers don't think otherwise. In my opinion, what they're thinking is just take full reins and control and let this pace out as best they can. A little bit of a troublesome turn there on the front stretch. Ooh, contact, 3 still to go. 3 wide for the lead. Contact on the wall right off the spot. Looks like there's a bit of trouble there. Pataska trapped in there. Huge run from Lowry there as he works up to Wetmore. Found in the middle there, trying to push the middle groove as fast as they can. They're backing out there.
24 loose. 24 saves it.
74 there, Austin Fitzgerald, not the 24 there, Michael. Managed to hang it. Oh, Lurie though. He caught Wetmore on the inside. Wetmore trying to get it back on the track, and he saved it. He does. He doesn't get any of the drivers, but he just cost himself any chance for the race. They're coming down with now 2 laps to go. This time on by. Who is going to throw the haymaker first? Lurie, maybe with a low blow, if you will, towards Wetmore. And unfortunately for Wetmore, his race is all but over with if they don't get the caution out this lap. A big push though. Epiotto getting extremely on the nose, pushing his limits and pushing his luck up there. He's got the 88 of Jake Ixon right now, trying to move off down that corner end of the back of turn number 2. Each driver right now wants this one and for keeps.
And for keeps indeed, as it's starting, as like I did predict. These last two times, 2, 3, and 4 are gonna decide it coming out of the trial bowl. And coming out of 3 and 4. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, that was trouble, that was trouble, but they save it. 3 wide, 3 wide.
No,
Oh,
caution!
7 down around.
Right flag out. They're gonna get him to the line. White flag's coming out. They're going to get him to the line. Challenger is out. So it looks like Fitzgerald, Fuse Jr., Bataska, Travato, and Hickson left in that mix as they have a little bit of lap traffic right now, kind of thrown in there for good measure. Travato trying to get the Bataska there for the last bit. He's going to need every bit he can. He's looking for every little shot he's got. Hickson going dead straight to the right. Huge push. Epialto right now working with him right to the mix. Huge run out through turn number 3 to 4. Hickson with one more run. A last gas, if you will, from turn 4 as they clip him down. It's going to be a drag spot there as Hickson manages to escape. He'll take it to victory lane.
And they're wrecking behind him still. They're still wrecking.
100 laps to get to our season opener race winner, ladies and gentlemen, and holy smokes, that was pure insanity.
Whew, what a race, fans.
Jake
And the
Hickson
races that we
catching a
like to
huge
call.
break. Jake Hickson catching a huge break, catching a big, momentous occasion there from left to right, right to left, and everywhere in between. Somehow, 23's positions up on the track here today, manages to roll it out to the top of the mountain.
In a crazy last few laps, Jake Hickson, your race winner at Daytona.
Well, time to take a look at our final race results here, ladies and gentlemen. What a long race. Green flag from point A to point B. Insanity in between. Jake Hickson, 23 up. Not the hard charger award winner. That will go to Ty Ipiotto. But what a run from him and Ty there. Samuel Harris coming in a solid third there. Chuck Sweeting coming in fourth. Fifth to Justin Lowry. Sixth to Gregory Hectix. 7 to Austin Fitzgerald. Dave Fuse Jr. going to go 8th. 9th to David K. Hall. And 10th to Tom Wetmore. Rounds out the top 10 in this one. The rest of your finishers on your screen as well. Man, oh man, oh man. What a race. What a time to be alive. And what a battle it was. Take a listen into our drivers now. Here's Samuel Harris now looking to join us here into the top 3 here, I would say. Although I do not see him on our end yet. We'll give him a countdown
Give him a minute.
clock. I'll give him a
It
countdown
takes a minute to
clock,
come out of these doors.
definitely Ty Ibiolto though doing a great job as well there, making a good little run there. Coming away today in the second spot. Did not see him just yet there. But we do know we have our race winner now here. The season opener winner coming to us here in Daytona. Jake Hickson taking victory lane here. And Jake, good Lord, good sir. You had a lot on your plate there and you had a lot kind of figuring out there. But man, did you take full control and advantage when you did there?
Yeah, there was all a little bit of luck there, right? I mean, I thankfully I had a teammate behind me with Ty Polito, so he really helped me push there. And, you know, we kind of got really loose. I thought I was going to go in the grass, you know, taking the white flag there. And that backed us up really well. And we just had a huge run coming down the backstretch. And on a team radio, I got on to Ty. I was like, we're going high, Ty, because we got the run. And sure enough, it paid off pretty well.
Now, as you guys were coming to the white flag and you saw that big wreck ensuing coming to the white flag, Were you thinking they were going to wreck again, come to the checkered, or were you thinking you weren't going to be where you are right now?
Well, to be honest, I did not think I would end up in this position when we took the white. I didn't think we would wreck after that one coming to the white. Dallas and I think AJ behind them were pretty stout drivers. They're really good at pushing, so I didn't think we'd have any more wrecks. But yeah, just luck paid off, and that's what this is all about. It was a lot of fun.
Mr. There, Jake, and you want to thank you for this race win today, buddy?
Yeah, well, I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting and Alan and Josh for putting on another great, winter series. I'd like to thank everybody watching, and a big shout out to my dad back home. Thanks for watching, Dad. So thank you again, guys. It's a lot of fun.
Mr. There, Jake, thanks so much for your time. Congratulations, bring home to victory lane.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, I'm not gonna allow about do it for our coverage here today. I gotta get going here. Unfortunately, I got this sickness is killing me, man. So I gotta get going. But nevertheless, big thank you to everyone for tuning in. Thanks to the Winter Series, and we'll hope to get more interviews in next time. We'll see you guys next time on the Green Flag Flies on PT Race TV.